Today's episode of The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown is brought to you by Jeanette McKenzie, Realtor at Forest Hill Signature, Jewelry Forever at jewelryforever.ca, and Beautified by Romina. Enjoy the show.
Broadcasting live from Glenmore Record Studios in Toronto, this is The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown, your Sunday morning talk show with interesting guests, live musical performances, and the most fun you can fit in your coffee cup. Hosted by Scott Dion Brown and Regine Alaina, this is The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown.
And get that cold wind away. Put on a new face and put some miles to the race. And time won't wait much longer. Standing lonesome, the smell of diesel in the air, white lines glooming, left a man in despair. In time won't wait much longer. We got no more expectations. There's calm over the hill, yeah, yeah. No need for salutations. There's no magic pill.
And that was a spectacular way to open the show. And our guests, we're going to meet them in just a few moments, everybody. But hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 302 of The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown and Regine Alaina. And I'm joined here. Wait, no.
You are.
I'm ahead of myself.
You are.
I am your host, the one, the only, Scott Dion Brown. And I'm joined here by the greatest co-host in all of the galaxy, the one, the only,
Regine Alaina. Happy Sunday. Happy snowy Sunday.
Yeah.
Very snowy Sunday.
There was I saw a thing, I think it said like there was a winter weather travel advisory last night.
Oh my goodness.
But I just jumped in the car and did it, Regine.
With no snow tires.
I actually kind of enjoy driving in that weather, to be honest. And yes, I haven't
No
put the snow
winter
tires on.
tires.
There wasn't that much snow. Oh, Thomas is in
There
the chat.
wasn't that much snow.
I mean, overall over the course of winter. So it's like it's not been like I've been driving around like, oh, it's so bad. Like 90% of the time the roads have been fine. And then yesterday was just
Disaster. This
It was
morning,
fine.
disaster.
Thomas says, I'm home today because it snowed hard. Yeah, here too, Thomas. It snowed hard here as well. You haven't missed. Well, I mean, we opened the show with a fantastic performance, and we're about to meet them as they've made their way to their seats now.
Yes.
Everybody, please give a warm sit-down welcome to Propter Hawk. Hello.
Hello.
Woo!
Hi.
Welcome.
Well, obviously your name is not Propter and Hawk. I mean, it might be.
Actually, yeah, maybe that's the
Maybe
source.
it
Let's find
is.
out. So where did the name...
What
Well,
is your
introduce
names?
yourselves first, and then we'll get to what the name behind the band.
Who's
Yeah, let's start
Propter?
with
Who's
that.
Hawk?
Okay. Well, I'm Mallory. I'm the lead singer of Propter Hawk.
I'm Jimmy. I play guitar and a few other bits and pieces.
Nice.
Sweet.
Nice.
And
So-
where did the name Propter Hawk come from?
I can tell you a little bit about the name. So it's actually a logical fallacy. It comes from post hoc ergo propter hoc.
Okay.
And so it basically means therefore because. So we took the Propter Hawk from that, and then we just changed the HOC to HAWK. And it kind of stemmed from that. I cannot take credit for the idea, though. This was Andrew, one of the prior and one of the founding members of the group. So that's where that came from.
Awesome.
Wow.
How
I
many-
was Oh, what were you saying?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just totally off at what I thought the name was
What
about.
did you think it was?
I thought it like because I get a cool vision of like something to do like a helicopter and like a bird and like just like something really really cool. that
I
comes
dig
down
that.
from above.
Yeah.
You're going to use that from now
I
on.
think we will use that from now on.
Yeah,
It's easier
absolutely.
than our actual explanation.
No, I like your explanation better.
It's deeper. I was just thinking like I was just imagining like I don't know, just like the most badass thing coming down, like
The hawk.
Yeah, and I've been reading. You guys seen Dune, the movie Dune, or read the book or
Yeah.
anything? So
No.
they have like
Don't worry, me neither.
the ornithopters they have in that.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that was kind of playing in my head. I'm like, oh, Propter, maybe it's a type of
Ornithopter.
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
yeah. They're like in Dune they have like they're not well, they look like helicopters except they're like instead of like spinning wings on top, they have wings on the side that flew. They look like dragonfly insects flying around.
You look like a
And-
Propter Hawk.
It was kind of giving me that kind of vibe, but there it is.
Yeah,
That works.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
So we are half the band right now, right?
Yeah.
So you're normally a 4-piece, or
We are a 4-piece, and we have a drummer who plays with us who's not like an official member of the band, but the official band is a 4-piece right
So
now.
4.5.
very cool.
Wow, exactly.
That's
Well-
awesome.
Well, thank you guys for coming here today.
Thank you so much for having us. This is so much fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for driving through the wintry weather we got going on right now.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
How are you guys in like? Because I find actually when I'm driving, I don't mind driving on roads like that. Like last night, for example, like I kind of almost enjoy it. I just think of it as driving. It's like driving a boat, right? So like if you're driving a boat, you won't.
Have you
can't-
ever driven a boat?
I think like once, but I imagine it's more like I imagine what it's like. Like imagine this, right? If you're driving on a river and you're coming
Yeah.
up to a gap that's only wide enough for like exactly 3 boats, right?
Okay.
On the river, you wouldn't like speed through there 3 boats wide because like driving a boat. Yeah,
It's a great vibe. It's a great song. It's a good way to
thank you.
start our show, I think.
yeah. raw. Actually, I like to say, I love your vocals.
Thank you very much.
They're great. It's a very like.
Yours too.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes. Love your vocals too. Absolutely. I say there's so many notes of just like that, like 70s rock and roll. That is just my favorite genre of music. Like, what are some of your influences in terms of
The band and
your sound and
Well, for me, the band definitely were heavily inspired by exactly that. So like a lot of classic, the Beatles for sure are a really big one. For me personally, I would say similar inspirations. But I really do, I love soul. I love, Otis Redding. It's kind of, it's kind of a mixed bag of where the influences all come from. But I think, what you're hearing come across, that 70s kind of is definitely where a lot of the big influences are for me.
Yeah, and I come from a bit more of like a pop background. Like I love the Beatles. I love like your Led Zeppelins and all of those sort of more blues-oriented bands. But even newer, they're not even new anymore, but like the Strokes, Arctic Monkeys, Vampire Weekend. I love a lot of those kind of bands. So I try and inject a little bit of pop hooks into our more like bluesy sound every now and then too.
I loved it.
Cool.
How is it playing the harmonica and the guitar at the same time?
It's the first time I've ever done it. Actually, that harmonica part's normally played by Alec, who's our other guitar player. So Mal and I had a practice the other night, and I sort of figured it out. So it's kind of fun.
That was because in my head I always picture like a harmonica, like you have to like move it around, but you were not moving that. It was stable.
Yeah.
I actually don't know how to play a harmonica. That was just my imagination.
Me neither.
I don't really know how to play it either, but
You killed it.
I was good at faking it.
Yeah,
So that was your first. So was that your first time like
Performing it
with or even just doing what you just like you said?
We practiced like I said the other night, but I've never played the harmonica on it before.
Wait, how was the first round?
It was good. Yeah. It was good.
So that was a sit down exclusive.
Yeah.
Yes.
A world premiere.
That's right.
Harmonica playing. That's the first time we've seen that on the show too, actually. But
Oh, cool.
no, it worked. It worked really well.
I was like, how does that work? Because you were steady and you were singing. You're just 3 pieces of instruments today.
Yeah. We had to change like the studio version's much more like a rocking kind of thing with drums.
Yeah.
Has like a big guitar solo in it, so we had to figure out a way that we could perform it as a 2-piece. So,
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So we got a little acoustic version.
Yeah, because I guess you probably wouldn't have to do an acoustic version too often, or have you done acoustic versions before? Or?
We did one acoustic set last month, but it's been exclusively just like loud rock and roll. We really like the acoustic because we feel it brings out another part of our sound, and Mal's voice really shines. Yeah, so I think we're going to do more of those.
You should.
It's a lot of
Sounded
fun.
great.
Yeah.
I mean, both sounds great. Like the original
Thank you.
versus the. I was telling them I did a little stalking on their socials yesterday.
Oh, good.
Like, I like their sound. Let's keep digging.
Yeah, no, it sounds great. I mean, like, because when when whoever was managing the Instagram, when you guys reached out, and I like looked through the your stuff, and I was like, listen, it's like basically listening with about 30 seconds of listening. I was like, oh yeah, these guys are good. Yeah, we'll have them on.
He messaged me right away. He's like, we need to get this band on. I'm like, okay.
Oh, that's always nice to hear. Thank you so much.
Of course.
great.
It's always good when you like it. Right?
Makes it easier for us. We don't have to like.
We don't have to pretend.
Exactly. Like, oh, okay. There. Yeah.
It's like, maybe we'll get back to you. Never. We're just
We
kidding.
appreciate it.
It was, they sound great. Get them on ASAP. And we did.
Thank
Exactly.
you.
And you guys had a show recently.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, we just played a show January 31st at the Rivoli. It was a great show. We love the Rivoli. We've played there before. It's such a fun venue. But we also had our horn section. We had a live horn section, so that was kind of fun.
That's
3-piece. And yeah, it was a great show. It was actually our single release show for the song we just played, Time Won't Wait. And yeah, it was a really fun night.
Yeah, a lot of other great bands on the bill. Young Scones, Feral Minks, Boneheads, all bands we've played with before who are all really great bands. So it was just a great night of music.
Actually, I think a few of them followed our Instagram recently, so so maybe we'll get them on too.
Potential future guests.
Oh,
Who knows?
they're all great bands.
Yeah,
too.
they are.
Fantastic.
Definitely.
You'll be hearing from us, all of you.
Or just let us know.
Or let us know. Either one. Or we'll be hearing from you.
Yeah.
Either one. Either one.
That's so fun. What was it like having the extra set of instruments on set with you?
I feel like since the band started, horns, we were meant to have horns. We just weren't able to facilitate that. But since we've had horns, every other show we play without them always feel, not a letdown, but it's like...
Something's missing.
It's not quite as good. It's
not as full.
I think
yeah.
it really suits our sound, especially the soulful element. We love the band.
Oh, yeah.
So, like the last waltz, when they were joined by a horn section, that's kind of an inspiration when coming up with those horn parts. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Especially the first time you do it, and then the time after, you're like, you've gotten used to this sound that's there, and now you hear like you can hear the holes now
Something's
afterwards.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And it brings out things in the songs that we didn't think were there in the first place. Adds extra harmony, just adds extra voices that it's really great. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, horn section is cool.
He could just do it for you.
Right. Yeah. You had it there.
You sound just like it.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about songwriting. I'm curious when I talk with other songwriters. I just want to know, like, what is your process in creating a song? Is it a collaborative thing with the band, or is it like, is there one person who brings their song that they've written, or yeah, what's your creation of songs like?
We're kind of a unique situation in that every other band I've been in before, I've been like the main songwriter, main singer. Brian, who's the bass player, is a lead singer. So we're all songwriters. So it's kind of like we bring an idea and then collaborate on it together. But yeah, Mel?
Yeah, I that's pretty much, yeah, exactly it. A lot of the first album was written by me and Andrew initially, and Andrew being the other one of the original members of the group. But yeah, like Jimmy said, it's a collaboration among all of us, and everyone puts in their different feedback and pieces, and they always evolve beyond what they started out with. Like when we just do a scratch recording, or when someone brings an idea to the group. Yeah, there's always a lot of evolution that happens to that song by the time someone else is hearing it.
Awesome. And are you guys do you find when you're writing, are you like a lyrics first type person? Is the music first? Is it a riff? Is it melody? What do you guys, when you're creating?
I know for me, it's always music first.
Yeah, I'm the same.
It's chord progression, start improvising a melody with just nonsensical lyrics until that hook comes, or that little bit of a melody that, oh, that's better than all the bad ideas I've had before. And I found oftentimes the lyrics I will singing, there might be one particular line that sticks out, like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's just the vocal sounds, like there's certain words that sound good to the melody you're writing, and then that usually sparks the idea of where it might go from there. But yeah, you the same, Mal?
Yeah, I would say definitely music first. Lyrics are pretty much always secondary. So yeah, I would agree.
I'm the same way. I write the same way.
Yeah.
I start to ask that because, like I've said this before on the show, but like I remember something that I realized about myself that I wasn't that aware of is like, I think for most of my musical, like growing up, listening to music and bands that I liked and stuff, it was almost always about the music. And like, you know, when I was listening to rock, it's like, oh, I love that riff, like Zeppelin or whatever I'm listening to. And the lyrics almost, I found myself, I was almost never even thinking about the lyrics. Like even if I learned the lyrics, I would be singing along. They're memorized. I listen to the song all the time.
Right.
But then I remember like, I was like sitting with my girlfriend once and I was singing whatever song, I don't remember what song it was, but I was singing a song and she starts talking about like what the song was about. She was like, oh, I can't believe that, you know? And I was like, what is the song about? And I realized like I'd been listening to the song for years and never even thought about it, what the song was about. And I think that it also made my songwriting is that I was writing words that like, you know, I wasn't thinking about it that much,
And then I kind of became aware, I was like, there are people who like really connect through lyrics. And
Yeah.
it kind of like made me think a lot more differently about it after that.
That's me.
But-
I don't write music. I listen to music. I enjoy music. So to me, it's more so the lyrics than like, because everyone's like, why do you like country? I'm like, have you listened to the lyrics? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, maybe you should.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Right. Yeah, the lyrics are definitely very important. So I completely agree with you on that. But yeah.
So what happens, because there's 4 of you in your band, there's no like tiebreaker. So what happens if it's like you're in the process of writing new music and then it's like, I like it, no, I don't like it. And then it's just like, who's the tiebreaker most of the time?
Jimmy.
I guess I am. Yeah. Luckily, we haven't really encountered that problem. Usually we're all into each other's ideas.
That's good.
Or even if we aren't at first, we respect each other enough to at least give it a try. And then if it doesn't work, I think the person who wrote the song will recognize that, okay, it's
But
not
what
really
if they
working.
don't? What if they're like, no, this is my baby?
I mean, since we're all singers and songwriters, I mean, we all sort of have our own solo stuff. Or like,
Oh, okay.
that's maybe one for the solo album.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think
That's a good point.
the fact that this band is formed of you guys have all been in other bands and you've like been the front person in other bands.
Yeah.
I feel like when you come together to create something, I feel like, because I found, I guess you same experience. We've all, I've played in a bunch of bands over the years, and finding like people, like finding the group, like good people to play with is like the hardest part.
It totally is. Yeah.
But I've got to think, once you got to a point where you've played in some bands now, when you go into a band, I feel like you kind of know what to bring to it and what to expect, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I feel like the fact that you're all in your own projects, it must make it easier to collaborate in that way, kind of. Is that accurate?
Yeah, in some ways it is. Some ways it's challenging because in bands in the past where I had much more of a hands-on, like I'm doing a lot of it myself,
Yeah.
I can sort of do whatever I want. I don't have to think about
Yeah.
pleasing the bass player because he wants to put his bass line in that I don't like, because I can come up with the bass line myself. So I've had to sort of pick my moments where I can add something to a song and then recognize when it's time to step back and let the person who brought the song to the table, do the majority of it.
Yeah. Makes sense. So it was like it was a bit of an adjustment, like being okay. This part I'm kind of be more the supporting role and like just be what they need.
Yeah, it was interesting. When I first joined the band, I joined the band as the drummer, and I'd never played drums before.
Oh.
But it was with Andrew, former member, and Mallory, and the 3 of us just got together in rehearsal space and just started bashing out some of the early ideas they had. So for me, it was just fun to almost learn a new instrument on the job. And then now I've switched to guitar, which is a more natural instrument, and I feel like I'm able to contribute more musically and songwriting and creatively. Yeah.
What other instruments do you play then?
A little bit of everything. Brass, a little bit of piano. Yeah.
Wow.
So Thomas says, I love the drums. I got my own at home. Never left them since babyhood. Oh, there you go.
Oh.
I think this is his way of being like, can I audition for a band? Thomas is a frequent viewer of our show.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's been here for a while. Since the pandemic. Since you started gaming.
because during the pandemic, I started doing a bunch of like gaming streams.
Okay.
Which I think a lot of people did, and that's where I found a bit of a new audience over there. So.
Oh, very cool.
Hence why he was talking about Minecraft earlier off air.
Yes.
Oh yes, that's right. That's when I played Minecraft for the first time. That's right.
So you also just released this single. I know we talked about their show, but let's talk about your single that you just released.
So yeah, it was mostly kind of constructed by Alec and Brian in Brian's basement, from what I understand, many, many years ago.
Oh.
But yeah, we kind of took it and evolved it. We recorded it at Pine Chip Sound, which is a studio in the East End of Toronto. It's actually the band Zeus.
Okay.
2 of the members from Zeus, so Carlin Nicholson and Mike O'Brien, they have this recording studio. We actually recorded our first album there. And so we recorded this single there as well. It's also OAC funded, so supported by Ontario Arts Council. But yeah, it was a super fun experience to record it. A lot of the stuff, the improv sort of vocals part it was done all kind of in the studio, like off the floor. So yeah, it was a really, really fun experience to record, and we're really happy to have it on the EP, which we are planning to release in June probably.
What's it called?
So the full EP is going to be called Sorry, which is actually another one of the singles on the EP that we're going to be releasing a little bit later.
Ooh, lots of fun stuff coming up.
Yeah.
What are you saying sorry for?
I mean, I apologize for nothing, okay?
It's the Canadian in her.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Exactly. It's
It is sorry with an exclamation point, though.
this
So,
is true.
so that sort of changes the
So it's
meaning a
not
little bit.
sorry, it's sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like the board game. Wasn't the board
Yeah.
game?
Oh,
That's
yes.
right.
That's right.
That is right. I forgot about that.
So when they ask you, so what inspired it? The board game.
The board game. Exactly.
We were playing it one night and just got really inspired. So I was looking at your socials, as I mentioned, and you guys have some really good artwork, like graphics. Who created those, or what inspired they're very retro. Is retro a good word to use? Retro.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think so.
Very
yeah.
comic booky, very like before I was born. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. When I was born. What was the inspiration behind your
Yeah,
artwork?
the retro aesthetic just sort of goes with our musical values. So everything we do, we always try and put a little bit in the past.
I love it.
In terms of the artwork, it's mainly Andrew, who's
Yeah.
a former member of the band. To us, he's still a member of the band. He just doesn't play with us anymore. He pretty much does all of our graphic art and all of our videos.
That's cool.
He's really great at all that kind
He
of
is
stuff.
very, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. We're very lucky to have him.
Shout out to Andrew.
Shout out, Andrew.
Should we hear another song? Yeah. Okay.
Are you guys ready for another
what you-
performance?
Yeah.
There you
Let's
go.
do it.
Okay.
What are we going to hear?
Uh,
Sorry, Scott.
Days go by.
days go by, yeah.
All right. So you guys make your way over to the performance area, and we'll get them going. So they're making their way over there. Okay. So we'll give them a few minutes. Everybody.
While they're doing that, we just wanted to make a official announcement.
Oh yeah. Okay. Do that.
So we are super excited. You will be seeing them on our show in a few weeks. So we will be sitting down with Marky Hugh Productions, and we are super excited to announce that they are producing let me just pull up the actual information. They are in the works, and they are currently promoting, I'm sure you've seen it on our social medias, an all VIP concert, dinner, and photo op with the king of R&B all the way from the Philippines, JR, who I have been a fan of since forever. And the sit down, we are one of their media partners.
Yes.
So we are excited to be a part of this event. It is on Friday, March 14th at Rembrandt Banquet Hall in Scarborough. Tickets are available, so it is all VIP. So, concerts, there's like the VIP section and then the
Yes.
general. No.
Here, you're coming to this concert. You are VIP.
Exactly. So you will get the meet and greet. You will get the meet and greet with JR. You will
And
have
dinner.
the photo ops, the dinner.
Dinner as well.
You'll see us there if you go.
Which is the real prize.
Exactly. So if you are interested in tickets, reach out to us on social medias, Instagram, Facebook, X, whatever.
Yep.
We're on it. TikTok. Reach out to us if you're interested in tickets. We are I think I'm more excited than Scott is, but we are.
There's no bigger JR fan than me. I've listened to every single thing he's done.
We are very excited to be a part of this amazing concert. So thank you to Marky Hugh Productions for including us.
Yeah, we'll see you then, March 14th. And they are now ready to go.
Yes, they are.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the second time, Propter Hawk.
Days go by and fading into the night. Oh, I don't know why you're not in sight. who stop by when the morning sun is bright. Oh, it's all alright, you're not that tight. When you go out tonight, when you go out tonight, I can tell you lied. I can't see it in your eyes, despite the things you do. I'll be waiting there for you. Days go by and fade into the night. Oh, I don't know why you're not in sight. When you go out tonight, when you go out tonight, I can tell you lied. I can't see it in your eyes, despite the things you do. I'll be waiting there for you. I can tell you lied. I can't see it in your eyes, despite the things you do. I'll be waiting there for you.
That was Propter Hawk, and as they make their way back to the seats,
No,
we
they're
are
not.
going to. What?
They're going to stay up there for another.
Oh yeah, we might have them play another song afterwards. Okay, but so stay there. But everybody, today's
Stay there, don't
fantastic
move.
episode of the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown and Regine Alaina is brought to you by the following fantastic advertisers. So let's meet them, shall we? Let's meet them. The Toronto real estate market is growing and changing every day. In these challenging times, you need someone in your corner. Jeanette McKenzie, Realtor at Forest Hill Signature, is committed to looking out for you. She'll go the extra mile to ensure you have all the information you need to make a decision you can feel confident about. Purchasing a home is one of the biggest financial investments you'll make in life. Don't leave it to chance. Call Jeanette McKenzie at Forest Hill Signature. She's my realtor, and she could be yours. Call today at 416-523-0408 or email at jmckenziehomes@gmail.com. Jewelry forever. Conveniently located at CF Markville Shopping Center on 5000 Highway 7 East Markham, they do custom-made jewelry, repairs, and they change watch batteries, all done on site. They also have custom laser engraving. Incredible stuff they can do. Jerry at Jewelry Forever is an incredible artist. Do you have a vision for something custom you'd like made? Something beautiful? He can do it. Do you have something damaged? I saw him on TikTok. He fixed a ring that got crushed flat by a car.
And Valentine's Day is just around the corner.
That's right. So he can make you a heart-shaped thing.
I don't know if he can make it with such little time, but he's got a great selection.
He's got a great selection already there. Even if it's last minute, good over there. And we have a great deal worked out with them, don't we, Regine?
Yes, we do. If you go in and let them know Scott and Regine sent you, you'll get 15% off your entire purchase.
That's right. 15% off, 15%. Mention the show. Tell them Scott and Regine sent you. Get something special for the special person in your life. When you're ready to save forever, think Jewelry Forever. Follow them on TikTok and Instagram to get some really cool behind-the-scenes videos and find out more at jewelryforever.ca. Beautified by Romina.
Internationally trained hair and makeup artist. She is the official hair and makeup artist of the Sit Down. Not only does she do our hair and makeup when we just feel like having a photo shoot, but she also does our hair and makeup when we MC live events when Scott has a new short film that he's working on, when I'm competing in a pageant. But she also does other people's hair and makeup for weddings, engagements. I know she just did a debut the other day. She does it all.
Really, anywhere you need to be beautified.
Reach out to her on Instagram and Facebook at Beautified by Romina.
And if you would like to advertise on the show, it's very easy, right, Regine?
Yes, it is. If you can email us at radioshowad, that's radioshowad@gmail.com.
That's right. We do the show live every week, people. And we also do the ads live week to week. What does that mean? It means you can personalize them week to week. Do you have an event, a sale, something happening at a particular time, a particular place? You let us know. We let your potential client base know in real time. It's a great way to build a brand new relationship with a brand new audience. So get in touch. radioshowad@gmail.com.
And we're back.
And we're back. Once again, everybody, take it away, Propter Hawk.
Won't you let me walk you home from school? Won't you let me meet you at the pool? Maybe Friday I can get tickets for the dance. And I'll take you. Ooh, ooh. Won't you tell your dad, get off my back? Tell him what we said about painted black. Rock and roll is here to stay. Come inside where it's okay. And I'll shake you. Ooh. Won't you tell me what you're thinking of? Would you be an outlaw for my love? If it's so, then let me know. If it's no, well, I can go. I won't make you. Ooh.
Woo! That was so good.
That was Propter Hawk taking us into the break, out of the break. The break really wasn't a break for
Not
us.
for us,
anyway.
no.
Or
Not for
any of
them
you.
either.
'Cause that ad read is an aggressive thing.
So aggressive. Well, if you are just tuning in, welcome to episode 302.
That's right. We are here with Propter Hawk, and they are making their way back to the seats here.
Half of Propter Hawk.
Half of Propter.
Half
Sometimes
of
2/5. Sometimes.
Yes, yes.
Or two. I'm not going to do the math, but there's now a horn section as well. Hang on, let me get your
Yeah.
mics back on. So 2/7.
We got
Is that
two
right?
members of Propter
Eight.
Hawk.
Two eights,
Two eights.
yeah.
2 eights, which is
A
quarter.
Wow.
I remember something.
That's a lot of math for a Sunday
school.
morning.
A lot of math.
Yes.
Well, welcome back. That was an
you.
amazing performances.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. What did we just hear? So before the ad break, we heard an original, and then we heard a cover, right? Tell us about those.
Yeah, the first one was Days Go By, which is one that I wrote years ago and brought to the band. And Mal put her vocals on it and I think improved it from the version I did. And that's going to be on our upcoming EP as well. And that features a horn section, both live and on the recording.
Ooh.
Fantastic.
And we got the acoustic version.
Yep.
Yes.
That's right.
And then the second one?
So the second one is called 13. It's actually by a group called Big Star. But we just love that song so much, and it's so much fun to just sing and cover. So we've recently just started including that in our set. We played it for the first time live at Rivoli. And yeah, it's just one of our favorite songs to do acoustically.
I love it.
sounds
It
great.
sounded great on
Yeah.
with your voice.
So
Thank
soothing.
you.
I just really like it. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
to all of you who are tuning in, having breakfast and having your coffee because you don't want to go outside, I hope you enjoyed both of those performances.
Yes, it was perfect. Perfect start to the morning.
Yes. Yes.
What is it like writing a song for someone else to sing?
That's been a challenge for me because, like I said, every band I was in before, I was just writing for myself.
Yeah.
So having to try to write songs now, thinking of someone else singing it, is difficult. It's still a work in progress for me. I don't think I've quite got there yet. So it's something I'm working on. But I feel like if I bring the song to Mallory, she will put her own touch on it and will make it her own anyway. So as long as I give her a good enough song, I think she can take it to the next level, hopefully anyway.
So then how do you make it your own?
That's a really good question. Honestly, I don't know that there's like a specific formula or like specific thing that I do to make it my own. I think you kind of just feel the song as you work through it, and then it kind of takes on a life of its own from that. But yeah, there's not really one thing I do. It's kind of just, I guess, a vibe for each different song.
It's awesome. Well, it's working. Sounds great.
Thanks.
It's really good.
One thing I do want to ask about, just because you guys are a band, as in like you're playing real instruments and doing things, analog might be the wrong word, like actually doing things with our bodies and throats and whatever else is involved in making music. It sounds very weird. What I'm saying is I'm trying to get around to the fact that a lot of stuff is very digital these days, and even more so now than ever is kind of this rise of AI.
Well,
AI,
as you say that, Scott.
yes.
So for those viewers who watch our show regularly, know Scott is notorious for loving a song and then playing it over and over and over and over again.
Yes.
One of those being the Beatles song that was AI generated in a way. Ish. Not AI, but digitally created. Yes.
There were some AI tools to isolate vocals.
Yes,
Although
and
I
so-
don't know if that necessarily counts, but I
And
see
so
what you're saying.
that song recently won a Grammy.
Okay.
So continue what you were going to say.
Oh, I was going to say that AI is being used in everything a lot lately, and I just want to get your thoughts on, AI. I guess we could talk a bit about the Beatles song, AI. Although I don't know if that if I was to say that would be an example where I feel like that was an okay use of it. Although I'd be curious your guys' take, and just also in general, because I know like people are using songs to AI to write their lyrics for them. Sometimes they're using it to create the entire song. People are putting on entire catalogs. I don't know. What are your overall thoughts on the world of AI
And music.
and music?
So I have a lot of thoughts about this. I'll start with the Beatles song Now and Then.
Yes.
I think that is correct use of it because it was an old John Lennon demo that the quality of the tape was just so degraded that I think it's the technology that Peter Jackson actually used when doing the Get Back documentary.
That's right, yeah.
Which is great. Everyone should watch it, whether you're a Beatles fan or not. It's just,
amazing.
It's just brilliant. But that he was able to isolate vocals from, electric guitars or just noise.
Yeah, I think. Sorry. Yeah.
And personally, I loved the song Now and Then. I thought it was great. There was a lot of criticism. I didn't get it. I thought we're lucky to have a final Beatles song. So
I felt exactly the same way. Yeah.
in terms of AI in songwriting, I feel like there shouldn't be a place for it. When I wrote my first song when I was like 16, it was a magical experience because 5 minutes ago this thing didn't exist in the world, and then me sitting on my bed with an acoustic guitar wrote this. Probably wasn't a great song, but all of a sudden this song now existed because I put the chords together and I hummed this little melody and came up with these lyrics. If AI is doing that for you, it's completely ruining that whole process and the meaningfulness of it for me. I think it has its place in many places, and in terms of like the Beatles song, I think it's fine there. But other than that, I have problems with it.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, well said. I think that you definitely lose just the impact and the enjoyment of putting together music, and like some of the authenticity of that, for sure, I think is lost with AI. But I will say that it's interesting and tempting, you know, to think about how it could be helpful in songwriting, because I mean, with songwriting, sometimes, you know, you just come up with absolutely nothing, right? So the idea of there being other tools to kind of just like keep that creativity going is interesting. But I agree with you. I
feel like it's cheating, though.
It's a bit like cheating. Yes.
But what if it was like taking the prompts of the way that the things that you're feeling, right? Like you have writer's block, for example, and you're like, I don't know how to finish this chorus or this verse. You put it in ChatGPT, for example, and you're like giving it a prompt like, finish these lyrics for me. Is that good or bad?
Are you going to be taking credit for those lyrics, or are you going to give
it's just like
ChatGPT as a songwriting credit?
Like maybe it's just like helping the your thought process, and you're like, got it. It helps you finish.
Kind of finesse it a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
Just out of curiosity.
the authenticity that Mal spoke about, I feel like it goes against that. Maybe if it helps you get out of like a really bad funk and it's just all you needed was that little set of lyrics, and then it can set you off on your own journey where you're not using any of that, maybe then it's okay. But I have a feeling that people are going to put those prompts in, they're going to hear a hook or a chord progression they like, and they're just going to steal it and not give credit for it, and I have a big problem with that.
Yeah. I mean, you've worked with people who have wanted to.
I mean, it's I've already seen it because I record artists as well here, and like I've encountered, especially like younger people, or like they're like, you know, their parents have brought their kids who are trying to be a singer, right? And like there have been times where like the lyrics, like they are ChatGPT lyrics.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other thing that worries me too is like there are a whole bunch of
Speaking from experience.
and there are also like there are a lot of apps now on phones that can help you with music creation, right?
Right.
And like it was interesting seeing like some of the stuff that was being brought. And I remember I was listening to this thing and I was like, oh, this kind of sounds pretty good. And she was like, yeah, I was working on this for a long time. And then when I actually started to look at it, at what it was,
Right.
no, but all it was like it allowed you to import samples and like things from other songs and kind of piece it together.
Okay. Yeah.
And like I'm listening to this, I'm like, okay, like I guess there's, you know, resampling and remixing is a thing, I guess. But like it was almost like these people, it didn't even, like, they're kids, but it didn't even occur to them that like that's not what songwriting is, though. Like like you haven't really created anything,
Right.
and I worry that it's kind of like
What they need to do is just open up their diary, if they still have diaries, and just pull the words from there.
That's right.
well, even that's why I kind of like the Chat GPT for lyrics thing, or even like using it as a prompt. I mean, I feel like having writer's block and trying to find a way through it, like that's part of the process.
Totally.
I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
I agree.
how does one get through writer's block
I mean,
as a songwriter?
Me personally, you guys can weigh in as well. Like if you're writing and you're having trouble, I mean, there's a lot that you can go for a walk.
Yeah.
If you're on I find if you're on a tight timeline and you need to get stuff done, I find that I just start writing anything. And then I find doing that, even if it's bad, at least you're like, oh, it can't be that because that's bad. So then suddenly that tells you, actually, it should be this, you know, like it forces you. But I don't know. I think the thing I dislike is that like art is like it's a human thing, right? It's us putting our emotions into whatever it is.
For sure.
And if you're replacing, if you're doing that workload is being put onto something artificial, then I don't even know why you're doing it. Like, I don't know what you would be getting out of it doing it.
An easy piece of
Yeah.
art.
Yeah. That's what worries me. So it's like, it's a tool, right? So we're even talking about this now. We can use it to help with this, I'm worried about people who have no interest in the integrity of it. Just like using it to turn. In fact, I think it's true that the biggest earner on Spotify right now is like this company that has put out like thousands of like artificially generated songs.
No way.
And they're just like, they're like lo-fi beat, the kind of thing people put on the background when they're, so you're not thinking about what the music is. And that music is apparently generating like millions and millions of dollars.
I'm in the wrong industry.
Stuff.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Scott's like, you're fired. So how do you both go through or deal with writer's block?
I've developed little tricks over the years, like putting limitations on myself, like write a song with one chord or write a song with two chords, or purposely try to write a bad song. Because when you're sitting down in writer's block and you're trying to write the next Stairway to Heaven or next Beatles kind of thing, you're always going to fail. So if you're just trying to write a bad song, probably that bad song is going to be a little bit better than what you thought it was. Or if you're trying to write a song with two chords, maybe you're going to come up with a cool hook or a cool melody off those two chords, and then you can add that third, fourth, and fifth chord after.
Yeah.
And times where I've had writer's block and I've gone through that, those tricks have worked, and I have come up with songs that turned out to be pretty good songs after. So I didn't rely on that AI or some other force. I just put myself through this test, and when I play that song back now, I can sort of think of that process I had to go through in order to create this thing that I now really like.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's smart. How do you write a bad song?
It's impossible. I mean, when you're so good, it's impossible.
Yeah.
I
Well, I've
mean-
never done it myself, but
I mean, I could probably write a bad song, but how do you write a bad song?
What do you guys think the future looks like music-wise because of all this stuff? Like, what do you think the industry looks like? I don't know. Well, it's just I have a lot of worries. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys I don't
Thoughts?
know. Yeah.
I mean, I think the music industry has changed so much, even just like in the last 5-10 years, for a lot of different reasons, but just even the way that we consume music now is so different, like through streaming platforms versus buying physical
actual album,
copies of an
yeah.
album, right? Like the way that we, consume it is so different. It can't be monetized in the same way. And you're also, you can, like with Spotify, for instance, you can listen to anyone, anywhere, at any time. The options are kind of endless, right? It's not like where historically there's been like these distribution channels and, you're going to a store and buying this album or whatever. So it's kind of like hard to say where it's going to go, because we've just seen already so much change so drastically. So I really don't know. People were saying as well with TikTok, if it was going to be banned in the US, then that could potentially change how people discover music and things as well. So long way of saying I don't really know what the future looks like, but I'm sure it's going to just continue to be drastically different from what we've known for a number of years.
It's actually interesting that you talk about how much it's changed. Like artists, for example, all three of you, it's a lot harder for you folks to make money off of your music because you can't sell it, or there's no physical physical CD or
Right.
whatever album. Like my brain's not thinking right. But what I've noticed for a lot of artists, so I love to go to concerts, and the only way I am willing to pay for it is if it's a pre-sale and not a resale. But what a lot of artists are doing, and I've noticed, is they're having their fans pay for memberships. And that, like a digital membership, which will get you the pre-sale code, which will get you discounted merch, which will get you all these things. And I'm like, I don't want to pay
So like
$20 for a pre-sale code.
Is it like a subscription or like a
Like a subscription
Everybody wants
for
recurring
to
money.
be a membership, right? So it's like some artists will make it like, okay, one time thing, $20 USD, here you go.
Yeah.
Or it'll be like monthly. I don't need any more monthly subscriptions. And if you're, I like artists, but I'm not willing to pay for
Yeah,
that.
I don't know if I could see myself subscribing to like one artist.
They have like, oh, you can join the newsletter for free, but you don't get the pre-sale code anymore. Like, but I just want the pre-sale code. I don't want everything else.
What do you think the future holds, music wise? Optimistic, pessimistic?
That size said it all.
I'm quite old-fashioned and probably quite naive. Like, my approach to songwriting is still like, sit down with an acoustic guitar or sit down at the piano.
Yep.
And I know that younger people, all they need is a laptop in order to create music.
Yeah.
And there's something valid in that. Even if I'm not into it,
Yeah.
I can't judge that. But in terms of like physical media, I'm still someone who has like a record collection. I buy records like
there's one right there.
yeah, there's something special to me about the holding the album artwork. I don't just put the music on in the background. It's a process. I put the record on, I listen to it. When it's over, I flip it over and play the other side. I'm not doing that while cooking or while doing the dishes or something. I'm listening to music for the purpose of listening to music. And I feel like that's kind of a rarity these days. It's a shame because music means so much to me that if I put out a song, I don't want someone to just listen to a 30-second clip of it or have it on in the background. I want them to give it that full attention. And I know I can't force people to listen to music the way I want them to listen to. So that's always a bit of a struggle with me putting out music that means so much to me that I recognize that most people aren't going to care about it, or they might listen to 20 seconds of it, and if it doesn't capture their attention, they'll just switch to the next thing. Yeah. So I guess I have a pessimistic view of the future of music.
I'm like, I tend to agree with everything you just said, and I also because I'm a filmmaker as well, and there's a lot of the same issues in music are happening in kind of film and video as well. Like I remember, for example, like with especially TikTok is a big one, but YouTube is the same. But it's even more so now with like shorter videos and everything. For example, like all the things that I would think are important in making like a professional looking video, right? Like lighting and like composition and getting the sound right, all of that stuff, right? Like I realize that there's a huge number of people as the general public, let's say, who don't care about any of that, right? One guy can just grab a phone and look at it and like no production value at all, and they can put out a video that's more popular than anything that any of the best filmmakers ever made.
Right.
You know? And I see that and I'm like, oh, so like, nobody cares about the important parts of it. Or like, we were just saying about how you want people to like actually listen to music. You know, I feel the same way about like, so many people watch TV or films half watching and half on their phone.
Right.
And I think, and like to the point where Netflix now is like when they say to the people that are producing content for them, they say like, oh, this isn't second screen. Your story's too complicated. It needs to be, somebody needs to be able to follow it while also scrolling on their phone.
No.
You know? And I'm like, that's just the worst.
Yeah.
So my thoughts and my worry, or not worry, what I think has to happen is just like, I just have to hope that there are enough people who like either want to see films or listen to music in, you know, for its own like sake and hold it in a certain regard, and that there are enough of them that even if the rest of the world has kind of moved on or moved to something else, the thing that I don't know is how big that market actually is, and whether it's continuing to shrink. So I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I dislike AI, kind of everything about it actually. Pretty much everything except like you were saying with
Except for the
Now and Then
Beatles.
song. Well,
Yeah.
well, no, yeah, because I thought like the fact that they were able to go into that old John Lennon recording and they literally tried to use it, right? Like in the 90s, I think, right? That's when they first tried to finish that song.
Yeah, when they were doing the Free as a Bird and Real Love, the two songs for the anthology.
Yeah, and so they just, because it was a tape recording of, and he was playing piano at the same time, they just couldn't separate out the piano, and so they couldn't isolate the vocal enough to use it. And the fact that that modern technology allowed them to like actually finish it. And I mean,
Then what if they start doing that with other people who have passed? Like, what if Michael Jackson has like a whole new album, or Prince, or...
But so again, I think for me, the crucial difference would be like, I think it would be cool if they could find old demo tapes of Michael Jackson that he never quite finished and finish a song. I mean, you know, like there could be something to that. I guess it depends who's doing it and blah, blah, blah. Where you're going to have to start to lose me is if you're doing stuff like creating brand new songs that sound just like Michael Jackson in his style, using AI to replicate his voice. I think that's where you're going to lose me.
Right.
What do you guys think about?
Because what if they're like, oh, well, if the Beatles can win a Grammy, let's bring them all back.
Yeah, but again, in that case, like Now and Then was...
No,
like,
I know.
It was
It's
actually
different,
them,
yeah, but
right?
still.
And like George had passed, but he had recorded in that initial session. So like that was it. I could say it was the final Beatles song, right? Because it actually all four of them are on that track. It would be different now if somebody else, you know, even if one of them, Ringo, decided here's a Beatles song, and I'm going to use AI to replicate John and Paul's voice. I don't think he would do that. But my point is that would be the difference. I think.
What if he's like, ooh, let's try it?
I don't know. I think Ringo wouldn't do that. I hope not.
But then you can never see them perform it live.
You know, though, as I get older, I've realized that's part of life, though, isn't it? Like, it makes it special in that, yeah, like I know, for example, Rush, Neil Peart died. I'm never going to get to see them live again. But if Geddy and Alex do, that's fine. But like this thing of like that means it was special. And it's just a thing that happened.
Now he's in his sentimental
This took a
feelings right now.
nostalgic kind of sad turn.
Well, I know at Paul McCartney's last tour, they do I've Got a Feeling, and the big screen in the background is the rooftop footage, because that's a song that John Lennon and him trade back and forth.
Yes.
And so it's John and Paul performing together again. And I haven't seen him on this tour, but I would imagine in the stadium, like that's a very emotional moment. John and Paul back together again.
Yes.
So that's the Luddite in me that wants to destroy technology. That's a case where technology, I think, can be a beautiful thing.
Love it.
Yeah, so you know what I think it is? I think the intention behind it, right? And maybe that's true with everything, I guess. But it's like, because you could see a version of that that's very cynical, that it's like, you know, 10 years from now, and, you know, everybody... They've all passed, let's say, and then some guy wants to go, hey, let's do a Beatles thing. I know, we'll generate something with all the Beatles songs and make a show for everybody.
But don't they do that with like some, like when going into politics for just a second, like whenever they're trying to do like, have you seen where they take like, let's use Trump for example, like they'll take words that he's used in different speeches and make it sound like he's singing a song or like saying something.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess.
I should do that on the sit down, just clip stuff that you say.
But like even that'd be more like, yeah, kind of like used as a meme on the internet.
What if
But
they
it'd be
end up doing that one day? And that's music.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I probably won't buy a ticket. But yeah, I think the intent behind it, because yeah, like what you were just saying, like I agree with Paul and doing that moment, you know. Or I know I think Queen did something where they did like that big projection of Freddie Mercury on the screen for everybody to see for a moment. So that's cool. But again, I think it depends. I'm just imagining the worst type of person, and they already exist, who grabs this technology and kind of uses it to kind of ruin it for everybody.
Yeah. You're talking about like a Beatles hologram tour.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kind of like what ABBA is doing. I think Kiss is going to be doing that. So they will they will never die.
Hologram.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like ABBA have been performing for the last year or two in London, but it's not actually ABBA. It's their avatars or avatars.
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 Really? I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah.
So you know what you should all do is, in your prime, just start recording yourselves so that this is now your avatar.
That's right.
He's like, no.
I would ever want to do that. I mean,
yeah, you should. So then when the sit down is long and gone, they'll still
Keep
be
the show going.
holographic.
even that. Okay,
That's weird.
So here's the thing. Again, the part that weirds me out is that they can do stuff where, like, you could say this show, you could put an AI to scan every episode we've ever had,
And create their own.
and then you can use that data to then generate a a new version
Let's not
of
give
our
the
show.
audience a
All right.
Like, that's the part that creeps me out, right?
Yeah. Totally.
So interesting. I didn't know about the ABBA thing. So they're not there.
They're not there. I guess they did like a motion capture thing in like a studio a couple years back to create this show. Yeah.
Wow.
Didn't Kanye do that? I was watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians years ago, and I feel like he did that for Kim with her dad.
Oh, maybe. I'm
know.
not sure.
I feel like that happened. But anyways, Kanye is crazy.
Yes.
I can only say that after the Grammys. Kanye's gone crazy. Don't come for me, internet.
Yeah. Part of me, you know, some of it just kind of creeps me out a little bit. You know, especially all this thing of like bringing back dead people as well, which they're doing. They're doing it a lot for movies now, where like they're recreating the likeness of this person. And the thing is, it's never perfect. It always just looks a little off.
Yep.
Their pupils are really dilated or something.
Yeah.
Or like the movement's wrong, or like, I don't know, something about it feels, it feels like I don't know.
Unnatural?
Well, it's definitely unnatural, unethical. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Bringing back
But what
actors that
if-
have died.
What
in
if there's
movies.
It's a bit odd.
consent somehow
Yeah, it's a
from
bit
like
odd
their
for me.
families? What if they're like, yeah, you can use the likelihood of Michael Jackson
Honestly, from families, I actually don't trust it most of the time.
because it's more for
Because you end up with some people who are like the kids of a really famous person, and they're just like a terrible person who's like trying to exploit it any way they can. You get that? I don't trust these. They're just fighting for money and using
Yeah.
it as a cash grab. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I know there was a Martin Scorsese film that came out a few years back, The Irishman. I actually
yes.
didn't see it.
I didn't see it
But
either,
I
yeah.
know there's Robert De Niro as he is now, as like an 80-year-old man. But there
Right.
was also a young Robert De Niro in the movie.
Yeah.
I only heard weird things about it, so I feel like it's one of those cases where they haven't perfected the technology yet.
Why didn't they
But-
just put him in makeup and make him just look
What?
younger?
But I think he was like
Yeah.
25-year-old
Yes.
Robert
Yeah.
De Niro and then 80-year-old Robert De Niro. So
Yeah, that's a lot of makeup.
yeah.
You know what it is? I think because even the like de-aging thing is kind of cool, especially if you get the original actor, and then like the thing that creeps me out, though, and I know this is what they're trying to do, is like we saw it like with the Indiana Jones movie. So you know they have you see Indy as he's an adult. Did you see the latest Indiana Jones?
I think so,
No.
yeah.
So like the opening sequence is like they cut back to like, you know, Harrison Ford in his
The younger
in his-
days.
Yeah, in his like Indiana Jones prime, and like, but they did a whole scene, and like, but they insisted on doing like a close up, extended dialogue shot where it doesn't look, it's not right. Even though they actually used him, it just doesn't look right. But I know what they're hoping to do is that they would love to make it so that they could put out Indiana Jones movies for the next century if they wanted to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the part I don't like.
Yeah, just recast.
I mean, sure.
It gets to a
recast.
point where you just need to recast the whole series.
Yeah. Or I don't know, make up a
just-
new
or
movie.
just
Come up
Stop.
with a new idea.
Yes.
Exactly, or just stop.
Like, not everything has to be like yeah.
So what happens then if in the world of music, how everything is being, not everything, but with this whole AI generated avatar type of situation, what is going to happen with live music? Because you all perform live. What do you see
What do you guys think?
and think? Fear.
I mean, I think that there's always, I think people will always enjoy live music. And I think that there is something about seeing a real live human being up on stage that just can't really be duplicated.
And people pay a lot of money
or-
for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's an interesting idea or technology that can be tapped into, but yeah, I think there's something about a real live performance that's just always going to resonate with people more, and that people are always going to gravitate towards. So
For sure.
I think there's always going to be, a space for that. Mind you, yes, concerts now are becoming extraordinarily expensive and unreasonable to attend. But there's definitely a desire for
They'll pay
that
for it
live
anyway.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I think part of the fee of the concert, even though they are way too expensive now, is in the cases of some of these people being your heroes, it's not only seeing them perform for 2 hours, but it's being in the presence of those people.
Yes.
Like, I saw Paul McCartney, and Paul McCartney, the Beatles have been my heroes since I was 5-6 years old. So as cool as it was to see Paul McCartney playing all these songs that I love, the fact that I was in the same room as a Beatle for 2.5 hours was even more magical than him playing Helter Skelter or whatever it was.
I agree. I think actually people, even though AI is creating all this stuff and like artificial performance, artificial everything, I still think, yeah, they're, and this is my hope, because part of me wonders, like, will there be a day where they create an artist that doesn't actually exist, and that artist somehow connects with people in some way?
I'm sure they have.
But I'm saying like they'll be able to sell out concerts all over the world, and people will go to, like, I hope not, but maybe. But my thought is that people still want to feel like there's a human being that they're connecting with in some way.
Yes.
And I think that's why there's always going to be a market for like the live performance.
I will be that one person.
Yeah. So in that regard, I think it'll keep going. It's, I mean, I think for the most part, I feel like touring and stuff is like the only way that a lot of musicians are able to make money still, right? It's that's still, you can't really replace that in that special connection.
Yes.
So
I would agree.
Speaking of live music, you have been performing a lot lately, and you have a bunch of shows coming up. Do you want
Yes.
to plug them in?
Yeah. So we're playing. So our next show is actually going to be March 22nd in Welland.
Nice.
It is at an art gallery. And then we are also doing another show at the Horseshoe in Toronto, the Horseshoe Tavern, on April 4th.
Oh, wow.
And those are sort of the next couple of big gigs that we have on the radar, but I'm sure we will try to play something in February as well. Just haven't locked anything down. So those would be the next official shows to catch us at.
Love it.
I think that April 4th show is our next single release show.
That is true. Yep. That is going
nice.
to be our next single release for the EP. Yep.
fantastic.
And the Horseshoe.
The Horseshoe, the iconic,
The
historic
iconic,
Horseshoe
legendary
Tavern.
Horseshoe.
Very.
That's right. Follow them on Instagram. Links in the description if you want to get the latest. Right? Should we move to our final segment?
Yeah.
We have a final segment on the show. We'll see. So you guys are going to have to select a representative. We choose which one of you would like to do it. But ladies and gentlemen, introducing this week's edition of the Barrel of Monkeys World Championship. Oh, they can hear monkeys monkeying. But
Here's a monkey.
I think the thing reset, but the audience hears it. They hear it. They hear it. All right. So are you guys familiar with this?
Yes.
The famous. Are you familiar with this?
Yes.
Right.
I think you'll be our representative.
I'm going to be the rep.
I
So we'll
think we
do-
know what their next song is going to be inspired by.
This is
If
right
it was
here.
Sorry the first game was the first game, now it's
yeah.
going to be Barrel of Monkeys.
Well, this is every guest we have on goes through this challenge.
Okay.
And it's the iconic game Barrel of Monkeys.
Yeah.
It came out in 1965. I say that every time, and
We never fact checked
I
it.
think I'm right. It's in the 60s for sure, and I'm
Yes.
pretty sure it's 65.
Give or take.
But here's how it works in this on the show. The barrel starts on the table.
We move this so that they can actually see.
I will say, I'll put 1 minute on the timer.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. You grab the barrel. You pour out monkeys. You pick up a single monkey.
We'll use this guy.
Okay.
Use that monkey to hook a monkey. Hook that another monkey. Then you use that to hook another monkey. And what you're trying to do is build a chain of monkeys. Oh, wow, Regine's having a good round here. Trying to get as many as you can. Well, look at that.
Look at
Yeah.
As
that.
many monkeys hooked on to your chain as you possibly can. So here,
boy.
so you're trying to grab as many as you can. Do.
It's
The
not
time
working.
goes out. You can freeze, and we'll count. In this case, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 monkeys. That would be 8. The one in
Nice.
your hand does not count towards your total.
I got it.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Have you ever played this game before?
Years ago. But I don't want that to be an indication of.
So you're not sure if your previous experience will play into.
I don't know that I'm gonna be amazing at this.
Do you have
So
any questions?
Yeah, any questions before we start?
I don't think so.
This is our battleground.
Yeah, this is your kind of play area. So yeah, you can move the mic
Okay.
over.
Or you can move whatever.
Yeah, where do you want? Or do you want to put the play area here? I can move it over.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
I'll do that.
So let me shove some of these cables out of the way.
Thank you.
Get you on a pretty flat surface there.
Here we go.
That should be good.
Okay, and then sorry. You're gonna tell me the time, and then
Yes.
I'm gonna talk.
Yes.
And then you
over.
pour it. Yes.
Okay.
How are you? How are you feeling? Are you nervous at all?
Yes, I'm quite nervous.
You should be.
Told you.
All right.
They're gonna write their next song on monkeys.
It's like, yeah, it'd be a very intense song with a lot of pressure. Okay, here we go. My timer's ready.
Dun, 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 dun.
My guess is the music won't play, but I'll have to do the thing where it'll play. It'll play eventually. All right, here we go.
3,
Hang on, 3,
2.
2, 1, go.
Oh, sorry. Or do you want me to do this?
You got this.
Yeah.
Oh, you really made it. Ooh, look at that. Oh, it's okay.
Just finding a way in. 30 seconds remaining. She's got the right idea. She's trying to. The raised monkeys are
You
the
got
key.
it. You got it.
She's trying to find a way under that arm.
You
The
got
monkeys
this.
do not want to cooperate, but she can do this. Oh, she
got
lost
it.
one, but she got it back. 15 seconds remaining. Oh, one jumped
You're
off.
good. You're good. Don't worry. Don't stress.
Lots
Don't
of time.
Stress.
10
I'm
seconds.
a little stressed.
There you
Don't.
go.
Don't stress.
I feel
There you go. Yeah, you got the right idea. There you go.
Oh.
3 seconds. Oh,
Get it. You can still get it. You can still get it.
time. We'll
Okay.
keep it. We'll allow that one.
Woo.
Whew.
Okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 monkeys. That's
4
that's
monkeys.
good.
Not terrible.
Not terrible.
at all.
Not terrible.
That was a.
It stresses us all
It
out.
was a journey. So,
You're good,
how are
you're
you?
good.
Oh, get your microphone back.
Oh.
So,
How
how
are
are
you
you?
feeling?
How are you feeling after that endeavor?
I feel pretty good. 4 is not bad. You know, I wish I could have done better, but
They weren't cooperating. You know, it depends. Sometimes the monkeys are really helpful.
temperamental.
Other times, they were kind of jumping off several times
yeah,
as well.
it's absolutely this is not my fault at all.
No, it's the monkeys.
It's the monkeys.
Yeah. What did you think of her performance there?
I thought it started off strong. I was a little disappointed, especially with the round before. What was
Oh.
that, 8?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
expected a
Thanks,
little
Jeff.
more,
Sorry,
but,
guys.
4 is okay for a start.
Yeah, yeah, it's yeah.
I mean, we've seen worse.
Okay. Okay.
Let's
Let's show
take a
them-
look at the
let's-
monkey
yeah.
standings. Let's see where you sit along the monkey
Oh, no.
standings here. Here we are. So it's small there, but here you can see it here. So 4 monkeys sits you. There's a lot of people who got 4.
Okay.
Michael Chan, very
Actor.
actor. He's on the show Popularity Papers, and I think he's on
Courtney
a few things.
James,
Courtney
also
James,
good
filmmaker,
actor.
actor. Raquel, April's band friends, Caroline Frolic, Ariel Fina, Emerald B, Jenna Rose Fitness, Lauren,
bunch of
and
y'all
AJ
there.
Manuel. Oh, look at that. Margaret Williams, too. Great singer. Jessica Lazaro. So all those people got 4.
At least
yeah,
you didn't
so
get
good
one.
company. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, sorry, Luke. I know you have one on our board,
Luke
but
Yeah, at least you didn't do what Luke did. Way
gosh,
to go.
Luke.
But you know what? 4, it's a good start. And the way we do it on this show is the number, your lowest score, the score that you got is the
Lowest
lowest
you'll
you can
ever
ever get now. So now, like, when you start next time, even if you get less, you're always going to be at 4. So now the
Oh.
sky's the limit.
the sky's the limit. Okay, good to know.
So,
Thank
so
you.
next time you have time to train,
well,
you have time to
absolutely.
yeah.
I-
you know, practice and all that stuff. All right, so there you go. Propter Hawk now sitting there, 4 monkeys, and
You should put Mallory's name, not just Propter Hawk.
oh, do you think?
'Cause what if they all
Because the other
come
members of
back
the
one
band will be
day?
like, oh, you know, that's
I
not a
did
representative
6.
of like,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I don't want to be, you know,
Okay,
the,
fine. We'll
the
add,
representative of everyone's score.
okay, we'll add her name. That makes sense. Jimmy's like, yeah, for real.
Jimmy
like, come on.
certainly doesn't want.
Do you want to try?
No, I'm good. Maybe next time.
He'll train up for next
Okay.
time. He's like, he's going on Amazon and ordering barrel of monkeys. Make sure he's awesome at it by then. Okay, so fine, we're gonna add Mallory's name there. Mallory.
Malorie, but
Oh,
whatever floats your boat.
I'd rather spell it your way.
Orie.
One L.
Yes, one L.
Mallorie.
I've had many spelling variations done, so yeah, no worries.
Oh, otherwise, if people. Oh.
I don't know. Somehow I've even been called, like, some people think my name is Malone because I guess the R-I like looks like an N. So some people like I've had attendant like teachers call it Malone, and I've been like,
Yeah, fine, sure, yeah, thanks.
Malone. I don't know.
Here, yes.
So yeah.
All right. Well, we got it right this time.
Yeah.
We got it right this time. And that concludes this week's edition of the Barrel of Monkeys World Championship.
We can hear the monkeys.
Yeah, there are monkeys that the audience hears. I think what happened was I think it did a software update, and sometimes I find it resets everything. So like, I have to just like undo it and it doesn't. Anyways, the audience heard the monkeys. The audience heard the monkeys.
Good. As long as the audience heard them, then
That's
I'm not
what
worried.
matters. Exactly.
Exactly.
Well, we're almost on the show. I think we'll hear another song from you guys to close things out.
Great.
But before we say goodbye, why don't you guys let people know on social media where they can follow? You can mention the band stuff if you want to plug your personal ones, if you like, whatever you like, wherever. Where can people find Propter Hawk?
So we have a website, propterhawk.ca, which has a link to all of our socials. But the best place probably to follow us is on Instagram. And
Can you nudge over just
Yeah, we
like
can't
your
see
face
you.
is blurred.
oh, sorry. Okay.
We want
Is
to
that
see your
better?
pretty face. There you go.
So sorry. So yes, so we do have a website, propterhawk.ca, which has links out to everything. But the best way to follow us and keep up to date is on Instagram. So we are at Propter Hawk Band, and we post about all of our upcoming shows and what's new there. So definitely check us out there on Instagram.
Fantastic.
And you're on all.
Yes, we're on all streaming platforms as well.
Love it.
Links are in the description for both the website and the Instagram. So make sure you follow them down there.
What about you, Jimmy? Would you like to plug in anything else?
I'm
Sorry.
good. I'm good, thank you.
Love it.
Propter Hawk Band. There it is. Find them down below. Hey, Regine, where can people find you?
You can all find me on my Instagram and TikTok right here at It's Regine Alaina. Pageant season is in full force. I mean, my phone has been blowing up all morning. Huge shout outs to all the girls who are currently competing. I've got Emma and Marielle, who are both competing for the Junior Regional Canada pageant up in Sudbury.
Break a leg.
We also have Melody. Wow, my brain is really not working today. Melody and Zoe, who are both down in Florida for the Citrus International pageant. So best of
Citrus
luck.
International?
Citrus International.
That's clever.
So shout outs to all of those incredible girls. And we also have some amazing people who have been walking New York Fashion Week this week. So they are keeping me busy this weekend. So best of luck to all of you. But if you would like to be coached by me, you can find me on my Instagram at pageantcoaching.reginealaina. Link is in the bio.
Down below.
Yes. Scott,
Yeah.
where can people find you?
You can find me right here where you're watching this very video, youtube.com/Scott Dion Brown. That's the best place. That's where you get every episode of The Sit Down. It's where you get the vlogs, music, unboxing videos, gaming. There's a lot of stuff on there. In fact, there's over 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel.
Jeez Louise. I mean,
Most-
300 of them are the sit down.
True that, yeah.
Just
and then
saying.
also like, especially through COVID, I was like streaming 5 days a week, so it kind of adds up over time.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of content. You can kind of you only need to watch one channel on YouTube, really. So youtube.com/Scott Dion Brown.
Or you can watch them if they're on
You can check them out too.
YouTube
Sure,
or-
check them out too. Yeah.
Like, hang
Okay,
on.
two channels, three.
Hang
Your
on.
channel too.
Yeah, come on.
All three are there.
My channel doesn't have anything right now, but
There's some stuff there. There you go. Also, find me on Instagram at Scott Dion Brown. I post pictures and little updates on there sometimes. You find me on X at Scott Dion Brown. I barely post, but if you're there, I'm there. Follow the show, The Sit Down with SDB on TikTok, Sit Down with SDB on Insta, Sit Down Scott on X, The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown on Facebook. And also you can find that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a variety of other places.
So when you add us to your playlist, you should also follow Propter Hawk and
That's
add
right.
them to
Add
your
them.
playlist.
Add us all.
I will do that right now. I will go ahead and give them a follow.
There you go.
Amazing. Thanks.
Of course.
And
I'm
yeah.
literally doing it right now.
thank you guys so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having
Yeah.
us. This is great. Thank you.
Yeah, it was
Lots of fun.
So this will not be their last time on our show.
Yeah, we'd love to have you back.
guaranteed. Yes.
When you're having another single come out or anything, we'd love to have you back.
Amazing. Yeah. Thank you.
Sweet. To close things out, why don't you'll play one more song for us? What are we going to hear?
We're going to do a song called Kim Mount Fair.
Tell us a little bit about it before you go.
So this is a song literally about the Kinmount Fair, which is a fair that takes place every summer in Kinmount.
Where's Kinmount?
It's in Ontario. I guess would you call it the Kawarthas?
Yeah, it's about
Kawartha Lakes
an hour and a
area?
half north of here, 2 hours north.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's a fair that actually a few of the folks in our band have visited over the years. But the first time I went, I think I was 8 or 9 years old. So yeah, it's just a fun summer tradition that we wrote the song about.
Love it.
Sweet.
Well, you folks go get ready.
Yeah, make your way over to the performance area.
Yes.
And when you're ready, we'll get you guys going. But everybody who's tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in. Hit the like button if you haven't yet.
Yes, please.
Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Follow Regine on social media. Follow me on social media. Follow them on social media.
And just note we will not be on air next.
Oh yeah,
we
next
are
week.
on air, but not live.
Yeah, so I'm going to be on the West Coast visiting my brother out there.
I'll be chilling.
But we have a fantastic episode pre-taped for you guys. Behind the scenes look at the cast and crew of the JDL production of Frozen Junior.
Yeah.
We were there. We got to interview them. They put on a really, really great show, and it's a fun little episode. You get a little behind the scenes look at what's involved in making a show like that.
How long did it take till you got Let It Go out of your head?
It's not gone yet.
Yeah, same.
I can't let it go,
Yeah.
and I won't let it go.
But we will let it go and send it away to
Oh, one more thing.
Propter Hawk. Oh.
Although, wait, one more thing. Tonight, I'm going to be back at La Kai Cucina.
Oh.
There's an event at their new location. So it's in fact, yeah, I think they're advertising it.
I
Yeah,
didn't
they
hear
are.
about
They
it.
are. Oh.
Guess I wasn't
Anyways,
on the
I'm going to
guest
be there
list.
tonight. So if you're going to be there, I'll be there. I'm going to be playing not as long as last time. I'm playing a few songs. There's a book launch event happening there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on his
Ooh, a
Instagram.
book
There's a book
launch.
launch event happening there, and then I'm going to be there playing a few songs, and then I think I'm going to lead karaoke.
Love karaoke. Why wasn't I invited?
They were like, "Don't bring her, Scott.
How rude.
Don't bring her, and don't mention it." That's all.
Ariel, we got some words for you. But anyways, hit him up if you want to see him.
That's right.
But let's now bring it to our guest
And now, for the last time today. Oh yeah, take it
Unless
away.
you're watching this tonight.
Or tomorrow or whenever. It's not live anymore. Okay, everybody, take it away. Propter Hawk. Bye, people.
I was walking through the campground, sunburn on my shoulder, cigarette in my mouth. I was buying 5 tickets for the nightmare ride. I've got to get myself down to Kinmount Fair. It was late in the summer, must have been almost September. I'd be struck by nostalgia if I could only remember. I miss those days when we would stay up late. I've got to get myself down to Kinmount Fair. Got so drunk, couldn't remember my name, but there were 300 neon-colored pay-for-it games. I was going to write you a love song, but I was down by the water near the Kinmount Fair. I think I might have seen someone I once knew from my best friend's sister's boyfriend's middle school. We used to sleep in a truck under the rain. I've got to get myself down to keep my fare. You know, you used to light a fire in the middle of the party. You know, you used to stay so late after dark. So much sugar in my system, could stay up for days. I've got to get myself down to keep my fare. Friends are gonna set up shop. We used to smoke marijuana in the parking lot. You know, I miss those days since I've been working for my pay. I gotta get myself down to get my own fare. Thank you so much. We're Propter Hawk.